I like to start with the circuit when I'm adding new wire into the house. So to get this open, there's a thing underneath you have to slide down, and then it comes open. We're gonna be adding a new one probably right here, but then we'll have to get this panel off. So to get the panel off, I'm gonna actually turn off the power. You take the main circuit breaker, disconnect, and now the whole thing should be off. I've got a tool to test just to make sure everything's off. Normally you'll be hearing beeping, but green means there's no power to it. There's just a couple screws right here that we're gonna get off, and then we're open. So there's an open spot down here. I've got a 15 amp breaker that we're gonna be adding to it. I'm also going to be taking my wire that I previously installed, and that's actually not outside certified. I made that mistake. I thought if it's in a box, if it's in a little container, that's rated for inside, but since it's outside, that needs to be outside. So at the same time, we're gonna wire the new cable into this. I'm gonna be replacing the old one with UF cable over here. UF cable, 14 gauge, means 15 amps. So we're running this circuit to a fridge. We only need 15 amps for that. The fridge is not crazy. It's already running on a circuit with a microwave, a stove, and an air fryer. So putting the fridge on its own, 15 will be okay. So with this section right here, I'm gonna be actually pulling some wire from the top to the bottom. I've already got this pulled through. So it took a while, but since this is already here, I'm gonna utilize this and tape these together so that we can feed these through. So I'm joining these together, and then I'm taking what we have here, and I'm gonna tape those to our wire. All right, now that these are taped to it, I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna pull what's currently already there. So right here is currently what we're working with. You can see that white wire that we first ran through. And I'm just gonna work on pulling it through. Oh, it seems that it broke off. So we're gonna figure something out. All right, we got it through. That was a hard time. Just brute forced it and got some wire pulling oil. But now it's so oily, I can't pull on it. It is actually, I got it through, but now I can't pull it through because it's so oily. So, I'm gonna get something like a rag to kind of pull on it. All right, we've got our rag, and now we're gonna pull it through. And this one right here is currently attached to the inside, so I can't pull this one out. I'm gonna have to go inside and pull it out. And then I'm gonna put these two wires through. But for now, I'm just gonna work on wiring up the upper half by the circuit. I gotta get all this oil off. All right, now we're away from the bees. They were really mad that I was down there. We're just gonna take one of these. We're gonna feed it through. We're gonna take this one, also put this one through. Okay, now that we've got both of these through, so I'm gonna put the cap onto this guy. This guy's on. I'm gonna do the first one off camera because it's not really part of this project. I'm just fixing my mistake. So the UF cable is like the if anything happens cable, and I've never cut a UF cable, so I had to Google it. It was kind of difficult, which is why I'm glad I did the other one first. But this is how it goes. You score down the center, and then you are going to pull the ground. Now, the other cables that are in there, the live and the neutral, which we'll talk about, have their coating, which is why you're specifically looking for this ground cable, because it doesn't have a coating. And then you're going to pull on the outside of it. And then from there, you can finish cutting through the center. And then we have a split on these two ends. And then from there, you can score those individually. Once you've got this one out, you can pull this back. And we'll do the same with the other one. Now, a bit of context on what a live and a neutral wire is to imagine like a sink. You obviously have plumbing going in and out. So you need the water that comes in and obviously has to go somewhere. Your sink base, your bowl, and your faucet, right? That's where everything's happening. But then when the water's draining, you need a pipe to go out. They obviously can't go out from the same pipe. That wouldn't make sense. And that's the same thing with here. So our live is the black, all the electricity is coming in, and then the white is the neutral, meaning that's where the electricity goes out. So when we have our circuit, which is 15 amps, 15 amps is going to go through this one, and then it's going to do its thing, like the sink, and it's going to come out through this one. And so we're going to be connecting our live to our circuit, 15 amps. There is a little thing right here where we can actually screw out, loosen it, and then we can put our live through there. And then all of the neutrals can feed through the neutral bar. It is a silver bar that is through the circuit. Now, some GFCI circuits require you to hook up the neutral to the circuit breaker. I'm not going to do that because I'm not running a GFCI circuit. All of these, except one, because I didn't know what I was doing, all of them are not GFCI. So I didn't buy a GFCI. GFCI runs you like $60 for this specific brand. This guy was $8. All my breakers are $8 breakers, and they've been doing fine. I'm going to continue that. I'm stripping my wire. We have our hot, our neutral, and then our ground. The ground is the failsafe. All the ground does, all it does, is protect in case a surge happens and lots of electricity comes in. The neutral wire is not fit to bring it all out. It fries everything. That's not good. So the ground is if anything happens in a surge, for example, a lightning strike, it will leave through the ground. But you need the ground to be connected to the outside of the house. It's about I think it's like an 8-foot rod into the ground. It's like dug really deep. That way it has somewhere to go. It's not that this neutral is like not fit to take it out. It'll take it out, but then it has nowhere to go. So it's just gonna go everywhere. So the ground goes to the ground. So I'm feeding my live wire through it, and then I'm screwing it tight. We are going to put it on the circuit. Poor wired management, but I do want enough room in case I don't have enough down there. I could feed them through. If you ever were wondering why anybody needed a square drill bit, this is kind of where they come in handy, because to tighten the neutral bar, you need a square bit. You don't need it too tight, you don't gotta squish it, but you do need to make sure that it's not gonna come loose. Circuit right here, we have the live that's coming out here, and then we have these going to, we're just going through here. So this is our cable that was indoor and it was going outdoor. So I still want it up here, so I am actually going to install a cable staple. So it was technically supposed to do this before, but I didn't get around to it. So we're gonna do it now. It is just a little tiny piece of plastic with some nails on it, and you hammer it in and you get it fixed to the roof or wherever you're going. Check out my cool hammer. So now that's not going anywhere. Hopefully. It probably still can. I'm gonna pull out this cable, and then we're gonna bring the new ones back here. I'm not gonna bring the camera because like if bees come and I gotta run really quickly, a camera's just gonna slow me down, so scary. It is a challenge just to get up. Working my way. Okay, so we're up here. This is the old wire. There's too much because obviously this went all the way to the circuit box. I'm gonna cut some, but to give an idea of what we're doing here, we are taking these two wires and we're gonna put them into this box here, and then we're going to wire the two connections, and then it'll feed through and be happy. So the first thing is to get this junction box up here. Our problem is I don't know which one goes to where. So I'm gonna go turn on the breaker for this specific circuit. The idea is then whichever one is on, I will go and wire that one to this one. And then I'll go turn it back off, of course. All right, I turned on the breaker and this one is on. And our other one is off. So this is the one we want to wire to that one. I'm gonna break open a hole on this junction box, and then I'm gonna break open a hole on the other side. Now when our wire comes in, we will get to work inside this box, and when we close it up, it'll be good. I'm gonna score it's coming in. Now we're gonna strip all of our ends. Okay, now we're gonna connect these two wires. You're taking the two ends of whatever you're trying to connect, and you insert them in there, and then it'll join them. So we're gonna insert one into the end, and then we're gonna insert the other one. All right, now that our wire that we're gonna use on our circuits is put through the floor, we are going to bring this up to our junction box. And we're gonna connect them just like last time. Great, these are all connected. So I'm going to seal this junction box. You can't even see me. So there is no standard for how high the outlet should be, but this home has them at centered like 9 inches at the center of the outlet. So that's just what I'm gonna do. We're gonna run 2 outlets on this wall, and we're gonna keep it going that way for the lights. So 9 inches, 9 inches. We've got our 2 boxes. They have little dents right here. These are so the drywall can fit. If you can make it flush if you want, but if you butt it up right here, that will account for the drywall that you're gonna add later. Now I'm gonna be using some diagrams that are in this book. This is Black & Decker's Complete Guide to Wiring. I got this at my library. I rented it out. I started reading it, and then you have diagrams. So we're gonna be using this GFCI receptacle switch and light fixture. We're doing an outlet with a switch at the end of it. So we're gonna need some room here so that we can work with our wire, but it'll go longer than shorter. Now with our receptacle, we have the ground, which is the green. So the wire that does not have any coating on it is the ground, and then we have the neutral, which is silver, and then the gold, which is black. So I'm actually going to pigtail the grounds first, and you're going to want to cut it, and then you're going to take a pigtail. It's the same brand as before, it's just now there's 3 of them. Insert a ground right here, insert the ground on the other 2, and then now when we're going to install this ground here, it's securing both of them for our outlets. So we're going to turn this with our needle nose into a hook shape, and we're going to screw it in. For the left side, silver, same for the black. Now we have our receptacle, and the wires that are going out, we're going to strip those and add those as well. Great, now this is our outlet. So I'm going to turn the circuit on, and we're going to see if it works. I have this outlet tool. It'll read for us. All right, so I wired these ones up. Now, what we want to make clear is that this outlet is perfectly good. This one, it's just going in, it's not going out. Then we also have the pigtail for the ground open as well. So when we run our cable to the top of this box here, we can just feed it through, wire these, and then when we are doing our light fixture will have little to no problems getting it to a source. We'll run these through, but this is how we're doing the 2 outlets right here. So I'm going to get this one in, and then everything is done.